how many of you have never heard of Tally? Literally no one, and that proves that Tally is truly the OG of SaaS. But on that note, Navinda, I want to start off with exactly that, right? Tally is a legacy company, started off way back in 1980s, but it still managed to remain relevant. What do you think is the strategy? Is it the technology? Is it the innovation? Or do you think it's the culture?
Yeah, so I think it's a combination of things. Like you said, the company started a little more than 3 decades back, providing business management product to the SMEs. And it is the leading business management product in the country. And over the years, it has acquired a large base. So we have got 2.5 million businesses as our customers. We have got thousands of partners who caters to these customers. And of course, we have got little more than 1,000 employees. So these are our key pillars of strength. As a product, it's a horizontal product. We don't do a verticalized solution, at least as yet. It's used by SME businesses across sectors. And you have got a large ecosystem. There are tons of people in the market who are expert users of Tally. So if you are a business using Tally, it's very easy for you to find talent who can run and sustain your digital operations. That's a big convenience. And finally, you have got a great developer ecosystem. So you have got lots and lots of people who can do that last mile customization for the customer. So if you want to do a small customization to the base product of Tally, it's very easy to find somebody who can do that. So these are the key strengths, but at the center of it all is the product. It's a product which is rich in functionality, but what really sets it apart are the non-functional capabilities in the product. Basically things like simplicity, flexibility, speed, and so on. And this is where the technology plays the role. The technology allows you to build such non-functional capabilities which differentiates Tally from the rest. So for example, so you can bring such experience that is unique. For example, you have a database which doesn't require any setup. You just download the Tally EXE, install it, it takes 2-3 minutes, and you are ready to go. You can create your first invoice within the first 5 minutes. Or you have a product which is not restricted by an unidirectional workflow, which is what you find most commonly. You have a product which is highly customizable. Any of the partners can customize it. So fundamentally, technology is at the center of the success of Tally over the years.
Understood. Yeah. You spoke about MSMEs. I want to start off with that, right? But we had Freshworks, Girish Mathrubootham also in one of our panels. All software companies that build in India or in the US, they all build for the US customers, right? Naturally, they find better customer base in the US, North America, or the UK. But how did Tally get the India advantage? What was the key factor?
So I think that's a little bit down the history lane, and I was not there in Tally at this time. But what I understand is, to start with, it started by being a SME itself. And a very early recognition was that compared to building software for enterprise, building software for SMEs is different. It's not a very structured environment. I talked about that Tally is a product which doesn't enforce an unidirectional workflow. This is what you need for a SME. You have got this product lying in your store. It has not been inwarded yet. And the customer comes in and they want to buy the product. Are you going to first inward it and then being able to sell it? No, we don't. The product is designed in such a way that you don't need to do that. You can approach the workflow in any direction that you need. And from the beginning, the company has championed the cause of the SMEs. And over the years, I think there is a solid expertise built in that segment.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But how do you make MSMEs pay? I think this is the question on almost all of the software companies, right? How do you make MSMEs pay for your product? Not just pay, they also continue to use Tally, right? How do you make sure that happens?
That's a very good question. So, actually, commercially, Tally has a perpetual licensing concept. If you buy the license, actually you don't need to pay to continue using the same version of the product. You only need to pay if you want to use a newer version. And you only need to pay if you want to use the connected services that we offer. But culturally for us, it has mostly been about not how to make them pay, but how to make them keep using our product.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? And as they keep using it, they will find value and hopefully they will pay. So fundamentally the philosophy behind building the product and the product design is at the center of this. Philosophically behind building the product is building an experience which is unparalleled. And when I say experience, I don't just mean UI UX. I mean the entire flow. So, for example, we built a feature called Excel import. You can import your data from Excel. The way it differentiates the experience is that you can import practically any format. You are not constrained. So the experience is such that, we have a saying that if you have used Tally once, someday you may decide to move on to another software, which is perfectly fine. You should use what is best for you. But we can guarantee that someday you will regret that there is something that was there in Tally and you are not finding it there. And I think that's what makes people keep using it and pay it when they need the new features.
Basically giving value for the product. A quality product with value is what makes MSMEs keep coming back. And we have the last couple of minutes. I just want to ask two questions. One on the startup ecosystem, right? I mean, a lot of startups have come up with a similar business model that Tally do, even though they are small compared to what Tally is today. But how do you see them? They do have a advantage in a sense that they have access to VC money. They can play the discounting game really well, right? How do you kind of how do we place Tally here? What edge does Tally have?
First of all, I want to say that many of the startups are doing a great job actually, and filling many needs in the market. If I just look at it from the way Tally thinks, and I know a lot of people are here from startups and it's going to be a little controversial. We don't do MVPs. MVP is the most valuable product. That's a very common terminology in the startups, but we don't take that approach. We typically say that if this is the audience that I'm going to cater to, I'm going to build a product that's going to take care of the end-to-end. So I don't know if it is the edge, but I think this is what we have found. It works for us again and again.
Understood. Yeah. Nabindu, I can't be without asking this. What's coming up in the convergence of AI in Tally?
Oh, great. Thank you for
just a few products that are coming up.
Thank you for asking that. In fact, we are working on AI for SMEs. We believe that AI is a very, very powerful technology, but it has not come in for the SMEs yet. Okay. There are tremendous opportunities in our space. For example, you see there are in a country like ours, there are billions of invoices changing hands every month, and the data has to be entered by both the parties. And I think one excellent use case is that any invoice that comes into Tally, that you will be able to extract data and create the invoice automatically. And that's a technology we are working on now. Another example is that to be able to have an intelligent conversation with your Tally data using natural language processing and conversational AI. So there are many more, but these are the two things that we are investing heavily in right now.
Great, that's great. AI for MSMEs, that's the way forward for Tally as well. Great. On that note, thank you so much, Nabindu. He's available to catch up. I'm sure many of them would want to know more, what to use, how to get into your customer base. So thanks a lot, Nabindu, for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alia.